what is the point of owning a $2 trillion company at less than 1% of your portfolio?
Oh, yeah,
You
that's a great question. Thank you for that, actually.
it is a very
That's
good
good.
question, and it's there probably isn't a point. I probably need to rebalance, but what I'm waiting for, if I'm doing everything right, and I probably won't, so we'll see, is I'm kind of hyper focused on crypto, letting that bull cycle play out. Hopefully, I'll take profit there and then I'll rebalance the rest of my
Gotcha.
portfolio after that. But I really look at my portfolio as two, even though it's one. I look at crypto and I look at the stock. So the
Mhm.
numbers make more sense when you look at it just like at the stocks. 'Cause
Gotcha.
then it's like 20% of my portfolio, and then the percentages are
But
much larger. But like,
That makes sense.
but you're correct. Like right now, this doesn't make sense, and it should be updated. But I'm just being patient and waiting to make those optimizations.
so many people don't think about that question that you just asked, which is so important, Shai. And maybe you can explain why you asked that pointed question. Why would you own 1% of your portfolio in a $2 trillion company? And what's the reason you asked that question?
Yeah, so it's actually a so the reason, you guys, I have two public portfolios on Savvy Trader, but like I like to categorize each one in buckets. So the way I do is bonsai, core, moonshots. So there's I call myself the Judd Apatow of investing all the time because I fall in love with my positions, like the stories. Like I have a little more romantic than I
That's
would like
funny.
to assume. It's very too emotional. I've been working on that because I've missed some great opportunities by not cutting my losers, and that is very important. So, for the moonshots, I like to have a handful of positions that I love the story. I love that they're an early disruptor with some kind of moat or tech advantage in the IP that's tackling a dinosaur industry or a brand new industry. I don't see any of it in the fundamentals. So I want to track it, but I want exposure that if I am right, this is a 10Xer, this 2% position will do wonders for my portfolio alpha in the long run. I'm talking Rocket Lab. I was bullish on Rocket Lab. It was a 3% position. I was talking on Spaces nonstop about Rocket Lab. I loved
Yeah.
Rocket Lab, loved it.
That's
I'm
literally how
cap
I found out about it.
Yeah, I'm capping my risk though because I could be wrong. Like this could just be a satellite number two player that has an error on multiple launches, and it doesn't really turn into a space logistics company. Like I could be very wrong, and at the end of the day, I'll lose 2 or 3% of my portfolio rather than going overweight at 10%. And all of a sudden, I take the 10% hit. So I think that a lot of times these moonshots, like you have the 1 to 3% positions on those moonshots that if they work out beautiful. It's gravy. If they don't, you don't lose sleep overnight. So Amazon, for example, I think Amazon for me, the second biggest position in my growth portfolio. I like to have some anchor stocks because I am so risk on that I also my chest it should not be this hairy, but it is because of 2021. I experienced brutal pullback and I did not sleep well. It was my first time really experiencing a bubble bursting. And I know that you never know when the black swan event can occur. Like, we've had one each year the past 2 years. Yen carry trade crisis, Terraforce, both VIX hit a 50 plus. That's COVID level. So now I like to make sure I have some kind of stock that doesn't go down 60%, 70%, probably goes down 25 to 30%. And that's like an Amazon. It could be a Meta. It could be any of
Right.
these multi-trillion dollar companies who are trading at fair valuations that if there is some risk off events, I won't blow up my accounts.
Right.
So
But
I call those the
1% of your
bonsai.
portfolio in one of those wouldn't also do much for you if they go up because they're not going to
Exactly.
10x. They're only going to go up maybe 15% a year or 20%
Totally.
or 30% in a good year or something like that.
Yeah, you got to, for me, you just got to shoot for the stars or shoot for the three pointers for the lower ones.